In this video, we are going to be working on the axle in the working drawings that we've started for the T9 Automo blocks. And I noticed one error that I had. I was missing the rim page. So if you're missing the rim page over here, go ahead and right click up here, make a new sheet, and add in the rim and fill out your title block. And remember, the scale is in here in the OneNote binder. We're going to be using a 4:1 for that scale when you're filling in that title block. So for this axle, and if you notice, we're kind of jumping around a little bit, so I'm on page 11, so you can double click on your axle page. You'll notice that we again have a full section view, so that cut is going through the entire object from end to end. You have the arrows indicating which way the viewer is looking at it, so they're looking at it in this direction, which would be the that would actually be the, let's see, that would be the bottom view, because this view is the front view. So they're actually going to be looking at it in that direction. So after the cut is made, you remove this portion of the material and look at it, and then this is what you would see to show all that interior detail, what's going on inside of the axle. So we're actually going to be starting with our front view and then using our section view to cut through the object, and then we will add in all of our dimensions. So I'm simply just going to show you a little bit of, remember our standard procedures or order of operations. Add your views, add your center lines or center marks, and then save dimensioning for last. So let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to go into my sheet. I'm going to place views. I'm going to bring in the base. I'm going to go locate the axle. And what was our scale on this? The axle, 8:1. What happened to my name there? I lost it. 8:1. So we're going to go up to, I'm going to have to just type this in. 8:1. Say OK. I'm going to move that up here. And then now I'm going to do my section view. So I'm going to click on section. And now I already had the view selected, so I'm just adding in the cutting plane. So I'm going to reference the midpoint here, because remember, you always want to try and, I'm going to try and cut this thing right through the middle. So I'm just going to reference this, hover over it, move my mouse over, left click, go straight across, notice the perpendicular sign, left click again, and then right click, continue. And then if I move my mouse down, I can add in the full section view. Your labels may be different. Every time you're adding in a new view, whether it's a detail or a section, these labels keep adjusting. So if you remember when we were in the front, it started with detail A, then section B, and now if you notice, we're doing the next one, which is C. So it just keeps automatically updating that. The other view that I needed is an isometric, and that isometric is going to be at a 3:1. So I'm going to just go base view, go find my axle, switch to a 3:1, and then on the view cube here, you got to hit this little corner so you can get the isometric. And then since this is going to be at a different scale than the rest of the drawing, so the rest of the drawing is at a 8:1, we need to turn on our label visibility. So I'm going to click the light bulb, and then in all caps, I'm going to type isometric here. And what that'll do is it'll add a label underneath the view indicating the scale, like you see there. I'm going to move that up over in the corner, and then that should also be shaded. So I'm going to double click back into that and change the style to shaded like you see there. And then, so we're done with placing all of our views. If you haven't done a save in a little while, go ahead and click save. Remember, the next thing in our order of operations is to do center marks or center lines. So I need a center line going directly through the middle of this. So I believe in the last one I showed you how to use this center line tool if you wanted to click from midpoints of two cylindrical shapes. Now I'm going to show you a different one called centerline bisector, where you're using outer edges of a cylindrical shape. So I'm going to click on centerline bisector, and for this one I'm going to use the midpoint of this line. I'm going to click there, and I'm going to click the midpoint of this line, and then I'm going to hit escape to get out of that tool. Now we got the center line, but the problem is it's way too small, so I'm going to just hover over it, left click and drag it so it extends past the object on this side, left click and drag it so it extends past the object on this side. And now I have a center line going through the center of that cylindrical shape. The last thing that you'll need to do is add in all of your dimensions. Don't forget to add in typical. And then the other ones that might look a little different than to you is this one. It's showing depth, so it's telling you the depth of this cylindrical feature on that side, and it's telling you the depth of this cylindrical feature on this side. So how do you add that in? Well, after you add the dimension with the diameter, if I backspace this, so you're going to have to add in a diameter symbol for that, and you'll notice it's right here. So you just click your mouse in front of it, add the diameter, and then click your mouse after, hit space, and add in a depth symbol right here, and then type in the depth, which was, what was that, 0.25 on that side, and then you can say OK. And whoops, I typed that in wrong. That's not 0.25, it's 0.05 on that side, sorry. So 0.05 for the depth on that side, 0.25 for the depth on this side. So this is exactly what your drawing should look like when you are finished. And then you can again go ahead and screen clip that in the axle area for your grade. And that should wrap it up. Please make sure you're saving, and I'll see you in the next video.